Some time ago, there was a lot of video circulating about the launch of the Sun made in China, but the 30-second video turned out to be a video of the launch of China's space rocket in 2021 ago. Although the video of the Chinese-made Sun is not true, but China does have a nuclear testing megaproject, and the project is also known as the Chinese-made Solar Project. And interestingly, China's artificial solar megaproject is the most expensive and largest megaproject in the world that costs a lot of money. So, here are some of the largest and most expensive nuclear megaprojects in the world. The Sun is the source of energy and the largest star in our solar system, which has a diameter of 109 times larger than the diameter of the Earth. The outer surface temperature of the Sun is about 5,500 degrees Celsius, and the core of the Sun has a hotter temperature, which can produce a fusion reaction at a temperature of 15 million degrees Celsius. That's why scientists from China and other countries are trying to develop clean renewable energy through fusion reactions such as the Sun. In nuclear reactions there are two processes called nuclear fission reactions and nuclear fusion reactions, which both reactions produce energy, but have a much different process. Nuclear fission reactions are widely used by nuclear power plants. The heat energy generated from the fission reaction is used to boil water, then produce hot steam that drives turbines to produce electrical energy. While in nuclear fusion, energy is produced by combining the isotopes of hydrogen, namely deuterium and tritium, because hydrogen itself is the most abundant element with a percentage of 75% of the total mass of the elements of the universe. When the hydrogen isotopes deuterium and tritium are combined, it will produce helium nuclei and neutrons, so that this energy can be released, and this energy is expected to become clean renewable energy that is very useful for human life. For this reason, China developed the East Megaproject, also known as the Experimental Advanced Superconducting Tokamak. In this project, they use a tokamak machine inside. This tokamak is a type of nuclear fusion reactor which has magnetic field confinement. This project, which is often referred to as the artificial Sun, has cost a very fantastic amount of $1 trillion. In this project, China does not combine deuterium and tritium, therefore, in this East China project, not a real nuclear reactor, but a nuclear test facility to create energy or fusion reactions, but rather to better understand how to create and maintain the conditions necessary for fusion reactions. If the Sun can produce a fusion reaction at a temperature of 15 million degrees Celsius, then the fusion reaction project requires at least a temperature of about 100 million degrees Celsius, and China set a record keeping temperatures up to 70 million degrees Celsius for 17 minutes, which one temperature is still not hot enough to maintain nuclear fusion inside the tokamak reactor to keep it stable. After that, to maintain the extraordinary heat, in this tokamak there is a superconducting magnet. The superconducting magnet in the China reactor is basically a very cold electromagnet, whose temperature reaches -269 degrees Celsius, and this superconducting magnet serves to create a very strong magnetic field and is useful for confining very hot plasma. Using state-of-the-art real-time simulation, the magnetic field can be controlled to adjust the position of the plasma, should the plasma start to get out of its way and approach the walls of the tokamak chamber. And this process can be done because the chamber is a vacuum and made of tungsten material, carbon, and cold liquid on the outside. China's artificial solar project is part of the ITER or International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. Which one where the ITER project will later create a fusion reaction like the Sun. ITER is the largest nuclear fusion experimental system in the world, whose members consist of 35 countries such as China, the European Union, India, Japan, South Korea, and Russia. And the project is in the assembly stage, which is currently 78% complete, and the project itself is located in Marseille in France. This megaproject is the most ambitious clean energy project in the world, and to date has cost a budget of up to $22 billion, and this project is also the most complex engineering project in human history. For the nuclear fusion reactor at ITER will be assembled from millions of components that have a total weight of 23,000 tons, and among these components is one component that weighs up to 1,250 tons. The components that will be assembled for ITER are made from various countries, and to send these components to the assembly site is not an easy thing, because the components that are sent weigh hundreds to thousands of tons per component. That's why in the delivery there is a special team, which is in charge of delivery. When completed, the reactor will have a size of 90 meters long, 60 meters high, and 60 meters wide, and in the ITER project area there is also a cooling tower with 10 giant fans that function to cool the water in ITER through the evaporation and recondensation process. Not only that, the results of the assembly will later be stored at a temperature of -269 degrees Celsius in a cryogenic factory, which one factory is the largest in the world. The purpose of the nuclear fusion process at ITER is that apart from producing little radioactive waste, this nuclear fusion process can also provide a cheap, safe and clean electricity source, and this projector will later be able to produce plasma that has a temperature of 150 million degrees Celsius, or 10 times hotter, compared to the core of the Sun. Although the results of this ITER project can produce plasma at the earliest in 2025, but overall it still takes years and even decades to be sold on a commercial scale. And indeed this project is not a short-term project, but a long-term project in order to produce clean renewable energy sources in the future.